For the past 2 years, Huawei has almost disappeared from the global smartphone industry for some reason. Recently, Huawei finally released their latest Mate series flagship phones, but without the new Kirin SoC, so can Huawei still grab a piece of cake from Apple this time in Chinese smartphone market? Let's take a look. The packaging style has not changed much. Huawei still prefers to use black boxes and gold text to package their flagship products. Inside the box, the first time we can see is the new Mate 50 Pro, but let's put it aside and check the accessories first. In VIP card, a TPU Protect case, a power cable, and a charger with a maximum output of 66 watts. This is the new Huawei Mate 50 Pro. Compared to its predecessor, we can see that the back cover has been almost completely redesigned, and the camera module is now placed in a completely filled circle instead of a ring. I actually prefer that particular ring on the Mate 40 series, which looks more elegant and artistic. But you can still recognize this as a Huawei flagship phone by these circle elements on the camera module. What we got today is the black variant. Huawei did not do any special texture on the glass surface. No one will be upset with a pure black bezel, right? Especially when it produces a fantastic reflection effect in the sunlight. But after you hold it for a while, you will be bothered by these fingerprints. There is another detail on the back cover. Huawei has done some fine engraving on the edge of the camera module, which brings a unique touch. We usually only see this kind of craft in some luxury goods. Turning to the front face, we can see a 6.7-inch screen with a notch at the top. Thank God Huawei didn't put those 3D facial recognition sensors into a pure floating on the screen like Apple did. In terms of display, the Mate 50 Pro is very close to its predecessor in both brightness and color. But this time it supports high-frequency PWM dimming to better avoid eye strain when using the phone in dark environments. I don't know if Huawei has made some sort of deal with Apple, but as we have seen, they both put satellite communication feature on their latest flagship phones this September. When you have an accident outdoors far from the carrier network, you can establish contact with some satellites through Huawei Mate 50 Pro. All you need to do is point your phone to the nearest satellite according to the guidance. Once the contact is established, you can choose an emergency phase that best fits your situation and send it. The satellites will send your message to the ground carrier, which will then send the message to your contacts. This is definitely a revolutionary feature. Although now you cannot directly make voice calls via satellites, but for those inexperienced outdoor adventure novices, they may ignore the potential danger and doesn't carry a satellite phone to the wilderness. Once the danger occurs, such as a phone that supports satellite communication can help them out of trouble. Photography has always been one of Huawei phone's advantage, but as all we know, their long-term partner Leica has formed a brand new partnership with Xiaomi. So it's time to see how much Huawei has learned from Leica over these years. This time Huawei doesn't use the latest CMOS from Sony, and compared to the predecessor, the sensor on 3 different lenses has been downgraded. But Huawei claims that their X-Mage system makes mobile photography reach a new level. Talk is cheap, let's see what kind of photos it can actually shoot. From these samples taken by the main camera, we can see that the Mate 50 Pro can capture better details compared to its predecessor, especially at the edges of the image. Even though it has a smaller sensor, it still performs well at night, both in terms of color and dynamic range. The telephoto lens on the Mate 50 Pro supports a 3.5 times optical zoom-in, while its predecessor supports up to 5 times. But you cannot really tell which one has better details from these photos. Although Huawei didn't surprise us once again with the larger camera sensor, this time they used for the first time a more flexible variable aperture on the phone camera, similar to that on a traditional camera, with the main camera aperture adjustable between f/1.4 and f/4. There is a total of 10 stops available for adjustment. All I can tell you for now is that when you want to shoot something small up close with the Mate 50 Pro, You can adjust the aperture to f/4 to get sharp edges. If you want to know more about Huawei Mate 50 Pro's camera system, please subscribe to our channel and we will bring you a full comparison with iPhone 40 Pro. Huawei's Kirin SoC used to be Qualcomm Snapdragon's biggest competitor, and I'm sure Huawei fans has been looking forward to the new Kirin series for a long time, but unfortunately there is no Kirin SoC for the new Mate 50 series. All we got today is the familiar Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. Anyway, here are some benchmarks for your reference and gaming tests are on the way. Well, that's today's Mate 50 Pro unboxing. Now we know that Huawei is not out of the game. They are still able to make good designs and bring innovation on mobile photography. And what's more worth discussing is that will satellite communication become the new evolutionary direction of the industry? Please leave your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. This is Studio. See you next time.